Alright, so I was talking about how the guitar's neck repeats over and over, and music is just repetitive. Like you have the E chord, and if you move it down one string, you have to move the second string up one fret because the way it is inconsistent with the others, but the A chord and the E chord are the same shape, just in different places on the neck. And with that same idea, what if we took this E chord and instead of starting with the E bass note like this, we started on F and slid this chord up? Now we have an F, don't we? And if we took our middle finger up, it'd be an F minor. And that, if it works for E, it's gonna work for A. And that's a B right there. You have, I can play it better with two fingers, a B, a C, and it's kind of cool how you can now just play any chord anywhere you want. And we have an A, a D, a C, back to an A, and you unlock the entire neck of the guitar by learning bar chords. But I have heard bar chords referred to as like dreaded, horrible, the worst thing in existence. What has made more guitarists quit learning guitar than anything else. Pure evil. You want to know a secret? That's a load of shit. In reality, bar chord is just something you have to understand before you can do it. And everybody, myself included, is taught how to do this wrong, in my opinion. And it's part of what makes it so fucking awful. So normally you are told, if you can't just play an F, which is using your index finger to bar all 6 strings, putting your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and then using your ring and pinky to plug the 3rd frets of the 4th and 5th strings. If you need a minor, you just lift your middle finger up. If you can't do that, you are told to use your index finger to bar these first 2. There's a mini bar. And then you use your middle to do the 2nd or the 3rd, and your ring to do the 3rd or the 4th. And you're asked to play this little wimpy thing, and eventually you might be asked to put your ring and pinky down. But it's high pitched. It doesn't sound right in most songs because usually the F is used as a powerful deep chord, and when you just whip out a in the middle of like some powerful movement, and then going from this to this, like right there, you just heard how sloppy that got. That is not an easy jump, and it's not intuitive. So let's do it in the other direction. I'm actually going to say, start with your index finger on the 1st fret of the 6th string, put your ring and pinky on the 3rd fret of the 4th and 5th, and then put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Now the flabby meat part of your index finger here should kind of be touching the 2nd and 1st, so if you... you can play that, you are essentially playing just a deeper version of, you have F here, G, A, and if you wanted to play a minor, you couldn't play minor using the other mini bar technique as easily, but with this technique, if you want to play minor, just lift your middle finger and use a bit of your pinky to mute the 3rd string now with the 2nd and 1st, so you're only really playing the 6th, the 5th, and the 4th. This is a power chord, but it gives that same effect of a minor chord. And after you start getting comfortable playing just the 1st fret and the following strings, so 6th through 3rd strings, start trying to not use the flabbier finger to mute the first string. Try and curl around and push down so you can get that note. And now you are using your index finger to play the 6th and 1st string. You add back in these and the 2nd string is still going to sound really gross, but your chord is starting to sound way more full, and it's a lot easier than going up from the bottom to the top. And now, once you get comfortable with that, your goal should be to straighten your finger. Your finger should not be curved because you are not pressing the strings. When you are doing a bar chord, you want your finger to be like a bar of steel. And so you just straighten that puppy up over time. You just work on straightening it more and more. And eventually you will be there with your bar chord. And for B, it is similar. You put your fingers down, and you might just work on having this shape right here, and you use your pinky to mute the bottom string. You have 3 fingers on, or let's start with your index, that you're barring, and then you go over 2 frets and put your 3 fingers on the 2nd through 4th strings. Just because I'm a little more flexible and have small fingers, or narrow fingers, I do better with 2. But I have to like bend my finger backwards to do that, so it's not easy. But once you get comfortable with your 5th fret and then the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd frets, you start trying to curl your finger down, and you touch that 1st string with the fat of your index finger. And if you need to get minor, you can work on. And honestly, bar chords shouldn't take more than a week if you're practicing pretty regularly to kind of figure out, because they're not that complicated.